In this video, I'm going to explain to you why, in my opinion, that the ending of Game of Thrones Season 8 makes no goddamn sense and could be one of the worst endings in television history. What's the deal, my people? Teflon in the building with another Game of Thrones Season 8 video. And Game of Thrones is over. Our era is over. And I'm telling you straight up right now, my people, it's devastating to me. It's bad to me. I do not feel good about it at all. Now, you people could say, oh, you're a grown man, get over it.
Shut up!
Listen, man, I'm telling you exactly how I feel. This is heartbreaking to me, alright? But that being said, when I look at the ending of Game of Thrones, I feel they did not stick the landing. This is my opinion. This is very hard work, people. This is not like it's easy to end a show. It's very hard. And in my opinion, they did not stick the landing. Now, sometimes it falls right in your lap and you get lucky to stick the landing. And sometimes you write it good. But in my opinion, this was not a good ending for Game of Thrones. This was not a Kerry Strug moment. Not in the Don's eyes. And I'm going to explain this to you, and I'm going to do it in such a way that there could be no confusion that this has anything to do with me and my personal feelings. Because I know people like to say, Tony Teflon, you're mad because it didn't end the way you said. It did end the way I said. I did say that Jon Snow would kill Daenerys. But I'm going to explain to you exactly why this makes no sense the way they pulled it off. But before I do, if you can, please hit that thumbs up button. We're trying to get to 500 likes before 24 hours to trigger the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe and click that bell so you can be notified every time I drop a new Game of Thrones video. Because the Blood Moon, it'll soon be here. The new Game of Thrones prequel series, and I'm going to be covering it every step of the way. Now, it seems that there were two things that convinced Jon Snow that he had no choice but to kill Daenerys Targaryen. Two things that made him say, listen, I have nothing else to do. There's no other way I can see this going down but me killing her. And that was the words of Tyrion Lannister and then the words that came out of her mouth herself, right? So let's break down these two things and see, by the stuff they showed us in the show this season, see if Jon was justified for killing Daenerys Targaryen. Now, when dealing with Tyrion Lannister at this particular time, you must understand who he is. He is a man who is convicted to die. He is on death row, and he is a master manipulator. He's trying to save his own ass, and Jon Snow falls for this hook, line, and sinker. Jon Snow knows nothing. And I'm going to point out exactly how Tyrion duped Jon Snow into committing this crime.
Thank you for coming to see me. Our queen doesn't keep prisoners for long.
So by saying this, Tyrion is trying to play on Jon Snow's emotion and basically say, listen, whatever actions need to be taken, they have to be taken fast because I'm not going to be alive for that much longer.
I suppose there's a crude kind of justice. I betrayed my closest friend and watched him burn. Now Varys' ashes can tell my ashes. See? I told you.
Now what Tyrion is trying to do right here is trying to tell Jon Snow, hey, I'm wrong, but not for the reasons she's claiming I'm wrong. What I'm wrong for is not listening to my friend Varys, who seems to be right. So he's trying to put his plight in the same light as Varys. And we know exactly what happened to Varys. But what he's not saying is that Varys tried to poison Daenerys Targaryen. Varys tried to take her off the throne, and she told him if he did so, I would execute you. What he's not saying is that he freed his brother and tried to get him to escape King's Landing with Cersei. He's not saying any of those things whatsoever. He's just trying to play on Jon Snow's emotion.
It just occurred to me. I'm talking to the only man alive who knows where I'm going.
Now what he's doing by saying this is bring back Jon Snow's emotion of him being killed, of what happened to him when he was killed and why he was killed and what it felt like for him to be dead. And that's why we see Jon Snow react like this as soon as he hears that.
So is there life after death?
Now, in the next thing, Tyrion Lannister does a very masterful manipulating thing by putting all of his crimes together. Even though one has nothing to do with the other, he tries to make Jon Snow believe that everything he did led him to this point of him betraying Daenerys, and he's proud to have betrayed Daenerys because he's seen exactly the monster she truly is.
I strangled my lover. I shot my own father with a crossbow. I betrayed my queen.
You didn't.
I did. And I do it again now that I've seen what I've seen.
And what did you see, Tyrion? You seen your brother and your sister dead. You seen that your plan of letting them escape didn't work, and that's what you're truly mad about. And you see that you're next to go, and you have to do something to save your own ass, and this is what it is.
You've been up there on a dragon's back. You've had that power. Would you have burned the city down?
I don't know.
Yes, you do.
So even though Jon Snow gives Tyrion an answer, it's not the answer Tyrion wants. So Tyrion then puts the answer in Jon Snow's head. Yes, you do. You know you would not have done it. This is the same man, Tyrion Lannister, who had the power of a crossbow and could have walked away from killing his own father, but he did not walk away from killing his father. He took that vengeance. So if Tyrion Lannister was on top of that dragonback, he would do the same exact thing that Daenerys done if he was in that situation. He probably would do worse.
Does it matter what I do?
It matters more than anything.
More than anything, the anything is I'll be dead if you don't do it. You're the only one who could do this. You're the only one who can get close to her, kill her, and save my life. That's what the man is truly trying to say, and Jon Snow is just eating this stuff up. He's just playing on this man's emotions, and it's disgusting. Jon Snow knows nothing.
When she crucified hundreds of Myronese nobles, who could argue they were evil men? The Dothraki carls she burned alive, they would have done worse to her. Everywhere she goes, evil men die, and we cheer her for it.
And you are the next evil man about to die, Tyrion Lannister, just like Varys was an evil man, and he died. And I would have cheered if that happened. But let me go a little bit more in depth of what this man is saying, and he's trying not to say that she was right when she did her thing. I'll even go add more things to this. Dany burned Mirror Master. Yes, she burned Mirror Master. This is the woman who killed her unborn child. Dany burns the people from the House of the Undying. Yes, she killed those people. They tried to keep her in the House of the Undying for the rest of her life. That's why she killed them. Dany crucifies all the masters of Meereen. These people were practicing in slavery. Any slavery person or anyone who practices slavery deserves death, in my opinion. And also in the opinion of the most honorable man in Game of Thrones, Ned Stark, who put the death warrant on Sir Jorah Mormont because he was practicing in slavery.
Now Ned Stark wants my head. He drove me from my land.
You sold slaves.
Aye.
Dany kills the Myronese noblemen. These are people who tried to bring back slavery and said they were going to turn her into a slave if they would have succeeded. Dany burns all the cows in Vasto Thrak. Yes, she did burn them, but they tried to keep her prisoner, they whipped her, and they beat her also. Everything she has done up until this point has been 100% justified. But the manipulator that Tyrion Lannister is, he manipulates Jon Snow's dumbass into believing that she was wrong in all these acts and that he is the only one who can save the realm from her.
You are the shield that guards the realms of men. You've always tried to do the right thing, no matter the cost. You've tried to protect people. Who is the greatest threat to the people now?
And then he uses his last line of defense to save his own ass, because at this time all he said has failed. Jon Snow is not going to do what he wants him to do, so he uses the last card he has left to play in his own desperate situation to try to save his own life.
I'm sorry I came to this.
And your sisters. Do you see them bending the knee?
He plays the family card, and Jon Snow falls for it. This is what puts Jon over the top, because now he feels like Daenerys is a threat to his sisters. But what has Daenerys ever done or ever shown that she was a threat to Sansa and Arya? Has she ever done anything in this show that we've seen that makes you say that she's a possible threat? And the answer is no. And as for them bending the knee to Daenerys, we've already seen that happen this season.
The North is as beautiful as your brother claimed. As are you.
Winterfell is yours, Your Grace.
Sansa is not stupid, and she has always done what was in the best interest of her people, and she would continue to do so, especially if Jon Snow took Daenerys up on her offer and married her and became the king of Westeros and ruled by her side. He would be able to curb her if she was in that position because she loved him, but the man was not willing to do that. That leads me to the second thing and the reason why they say that Daenerys should be killed, and that is her own words that she said to Jon Snow.
I don't.
You do. You do. You've always known.
What about everyone else? All the other people who think they know what's good.
They don't get to choose.
They don't get to choose. It's these words that push Jon Snow over the top. And he has no choice but to kill this woman at this moment because she said those words. But there are other people who said those exact same words in this episode.
Maybe the decision about what's best for everyone should be left to, well, everyone.
Maybe we should give the dogs a vote as well.
I'll ask my horse.
Is that not the same exact thing that Daenerys just said? That these people do not get to choose? And these guys say the same thing and start laughing about it, saying they'd rather have the dogs vote and the horses vote. Well, Jon Snow, you need to stab these people too then, right? You need to stab them all. But no, you ain't gonna do that, are you? They just get to get away with it. But Daenerys deserves to die like this. Well, listen, if the plan was for Daenerys to die by the hands of a stupid man and Tyrion Lannister to manipulate the hero of the story in order for him to kill the queen, then this is the greatest ending I've ever seen in the history of television shows. If that's what they were going for, greatest ending ever. The story of Daenerys Targaryen. She was raped by her first husband, and then she was betrayed by the man she wanted to marry at the end. I guess that's what this story is trying to tell you in the end. But in the comment section, you let me know what you think. And as always, until next time, peace and stay sexy.